Hey friends, welcome back to Crafter Support. I'm Andrea. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be working on me teaching you guys how to use permanent vinyl. This is Cricut permanent vinyl. I'm actually using the smart vinyl today on a mat because I'm just using a scrap to make a little saying on this white glass candle. So you can put permanent vinyl on a lot of different materials, and you're going to see that throughout the videos that I post. Another great thing about Cricut is they mark the inside of their materials. So on the back of their smart vinyl, it says smart vinyl. So you'll always know what material you have as long as the backing is on it. And obviously if the backing isn't on it, you can't use it because the stick is what comes off of the main piece. So another thing that you want to do is you're going to want to measure. Now measuring is really, really important whenever you are using something flat to put on something rounded. If you make it too big, it will have like bubbles in it and it'll ripple. So you want to make sure you get the proper sizing whenever you are making a design. So mine is 2.5 by 1.75. So that's the sizing that I need to make. The entire design cannot be bigger than that. So here we are in design space. The first thing I'm going to do is come up here to the right and I'm going to click on the machines. So you can pick whatever machine you're using. Today I'm using the Cricut Joy. And then we're going to come over here to the left and we're going to click on text. Now, as long as you see that blue highlight over the black letters, you can type your word and it'll delete the word text. And then I'm just pulling it up here. So it says shine in cursive letters. And that is called Culinary, I believe, the font. And I will post down below exactly what it is, but I believe it's Culinary. And then this one is called Cooper Black. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it here. So how you switch your fonts is you go up to there and you're just going to scroll through, and you can just scroll through all of them. Anyone that has a green little flag on the right hand side or with an A in it, that is Cricut Access. If you're a Cricut Access member, it's absolutely free. Or you could go up and just type in the search bar like the name of the font that you prefer to use. This Cooper Black is really, I like this font a lot. So otherwise they will have a price in it of what you have to pay in order to use it. So once I have my two words together, I am going to come here to align, and I'm going to put center align, so that way there it just centers everything up for me and looks really, really great. Then I'm going to come up here to the sizing. I'm going to unclick the lock. It's like a little padlock, and we're going to take away the aspect ratio basically. And then I'm going to type in the sizes that I need, 2.5 by 1.75. And that's going to be the exact size that I need in order for it to fit on the candle just right. So now that I have that done, I end up moving it a little bit, but I wanted to show you here, if you click on that little empty square between the one vertical and one horizontal, it'll change the way your screen looks for your background. I prefer to have the 1-inch squares. Other people like the multi-squares inside of the 1-inch squares, and some people don't like any. I prefer the 1-inch, and I'm just realigning it here again. Then I'm going to come down here to contour, and then I'm just going to combine everything together. So you're basically welding it together, and then you can come up to the top right and click make it. So once you click make it, you're going to be given some options. It's going to show you the mat you're using, and here are some things it'll ask you. Is it going to be on a mat or using smart material? We're using a mat. It's going to ask which mat you're using. The Cricut Joy only has one size of mat. I'm sorry. No, the Cricut Joy has two sizes of mat, but we're just using the one size that is on there. And we never mirror when we're using permanent vinyl. We just leave that alone. Well, there's an exception to that, but I'm not going to confuse you guys. But you do not need to mirror when you're making just a regular permanent vinyl project. Also, all you're going to click on is smart vinyl. One thing that I have found people make the most mistakes with is they choose the wrong material that they're cutting. When they say, well, I'm having trouble with this and it's not cutting proper, chances are you may have picked the wrong material. So make sure you're choosing the correct material. So next, whenever our machines are flashing, we know that there's something we have to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our mat out, and we're going to put our smart material scrap onto our mat. Yes, you can use smart material without a mat, and that's only if it's the standard size that is needed. And you could have cut this down, but this was just a scrap that I had, so I just used my brayer and pressed it down really, really nicely onto the mat. Smart material has a very thick backing, and so you want to make sure that you're getting a good stick whenever you're placing it on your mat. This is just the standard green mat, and it's just pulling into the machine and getting ready to make sure everything's aligned so it can cut for us. So the next thing that we're going to jump into doing is taking things off of this mat. So when I use normally when I use regular material, I flip the mat over and peel the mat away from the material. But smart material, because of the backing, I just pop the smart material off instead of flipping my mat over and pulling the material or the mat from the material. And you'll see that here in a minute. What I do is I just get my true control knife from Cricut, and I get a ruler. I lay it across beneath the actual design, and then I just cut it. Now, again, smart material is thicker, so you're going to have to put a little more pressure than you would if you're using just regular permanent vinyl. But it's going to be the same. I would do it the same way. So I just lay my little roller down. And if you do have a plastic roller, just be careful. I have shaved some of the plastic off of my roller with this true control knife. These knives are super sharp, and they are amazing for crafting. Even if you don't have a Cricut and you're like a paper crafter, these are great to have. This true control knife is really nice. See how I'm just bending the material off and just peeling it up? It's because of the backing that's on it. So now that piece just popped off as I was lifting that, and again, I'm just showing you the back of how thick it is. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is, I believe I put the cover back on the mat and put all of my tools away that I'm currently working with. That's one tip when working with removable or permanent vinyl. Anything sticky is get everything you can out of your way, because chances are if there's like any little piece of something there, it's going to get stuck on your vinyl. So you want to make sure that that is all out of the way and gone. And then we're going to get our weeding tool. So this is my favorite weeding tool. It's from Cricut. It has like a hook on the end, and it just makes it a lot easier for me to weed with. So I'm just going to pick a corner at an angle, and I'm going to start peeling at an angle and keeping the material low. So I'm not like lifting it straight up and like pulling up and out. I'm pulling like down and back to remove it from all of the letters. So when you use permanent vinyl or removable vinyl, you have to be careful with some of the fonts that you use, because if they're too tiny and small, you're going to have a little bit of trouble weeding it. And there's something called reverse weeding that I'll teach you guys. But I also recommend checking your leftovers, like your weeded part, before you crinkle it up and throw it away, just to make sure there's no little dots of eyes or anything that are still in the design, and making sure everything is left behind. So now that we have that left behind, we need to pull out the little innards of all of the letters. So there's multiple ones in this one. There's some in the E, and they're very tiny. And then there's some in the H and the S, the B and the R. So we're going to kind of speed through this, and we're going to get all those pieces out. Now, I do have a handy little helper that I wear. It's a nail polish holder, and I just use that to pick up my vinyl, and then I slide it off, and it keeps it down inside for me so that I don't have a bunch of pieces just randomly laying around on my desk or flying around. It's very helpful when I'm doing small designs like this. Again, I'm just showing you I have to get out the inside pieces of the B and the R, and sometimes they're tricky. They'll stick to that little piece of metal on your hook, but very, very easy to weed. So now let's talk about how to prep and what material we're going to be using to transfer your design. So I just have these rubbing alcohol wipes, and I'm going to clean the glass jar just in case there's fingerprint smudges, dust, because I've had this candle for a really long time and I kept saying I'm going to put something on it and I never did. So now was my time to do that. So I'm just scrubbing it nicely, getting off any oils, anything that would be left on there, like a little piece of this original sticker was on there that I scrubbed off. And then I'm going to clean the lid as well. And I think I'm actually going to put something on the lid later on, like a design instead of a saying. But you can put permanent vinyl on wood as well. If you didn't know that, you can. So it's all ready to go. I'm just going to let it dry. And while it's drying, let's talk transfer paper. So you need transfer paper for the most part when you're doing a design like this. Yes, you can individually put every letter on the design, but that's kind of a nightmare. Unless you absolutely have to do it that way, go with transfer tape. There are two kinds of transfer tape that Cricut makes. There is the strong grip, which is this particular transfer tape, and it has a purple grid on it. And this is for your textured material. This is not for regular smart vinyl or regular permanent or removable vinyl. If you try to use this, it is going to be a nightmare to get off. So I want you to be aware. It says right on it, strong grip transfer tape. You only want that with those other materials, glitter, textured, and usually it comes with the package when you buy the glitter and stuff, but this is just if you use a lot of it and you need it. So the other one is just their basic transfer tape. It is a gray pattern on it, and this I love. So I have so many people that are like, they either love this or they hate this, but I need to tell you this. If you are not using Cricut material, it's not going to work the same way. So I am a brand for brand type of person when I'm using, and I'm trying to get away from that, to be quite honest. I'm trying to just have one of everything. Like I have multiple paper cutters and multiple trimmers and multiple scissors because I believe that certain products are made to go with their brand. And I'm trying to find products that I can get away from that and just have one specific thing. Like I said, one paper trimmer instead of having a Cricut paper trimmer and a Stampin' Up paper trimmer and We Are Memory Keeper paper trimmer for all the different things. But I believe that it doesn't work as well on off-brands vinyl. So it's just something to think about. I think it works amazing. I mainly use Cricut. So that's why I think it works so well for me. I don't know. I don't know, but I do prefer to use the Cricut transfer tape. So as you've seen, I just laid my design down. I cut out a piece of transfer tape that fits well. Then I'm going to just peel back the top left corner at an angle, and I'm going to fold it down. And this is going to give me a piece to get started. So I'm just going to lay it down on top of my mat, my glass mat, and I'm going to line it up as best as I can. This is where the grid marks come in real handy. And then I'm going to pull at an angle and pull down and press down as I'm pulling it low and slow away from that upper left corner. And this is going to help me get no bubbles, no wrinkles. It's going to keep it nice and tight. And then all I have to do is take my scrapey tool and just go over all of the letters, all the design, and making sure that I'm transferring it to the transfer tape. So after I do that, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to scrape the back, and I'm going to just pull across it a few times with pressure and my scraper tool. And then I'm going to do something here that I want you guys to make sure you understand. You don't want to pull the transfer tape off of the backing. You want to roll the backing at an angle away from the transfer tape. All right, this way here, your vinyl is sticking nicely to the transfer tape and you're not going to chance losing a piece because you'll be able to see if it's lifting or not. Okay, now once you have that, you are going to need something to hold your circular project in place. And this is just a scraper tool that I have, and it's just a spare one. And I'm going to use that. It has little grooves that it'll hold my candle for me very, very well. So now I'm just making sure that my candle's in place, everything's lined up, And then I'm going to try my best to get this on here straight. I'm actually looking at the grid lines on my glass mat along with the grid lines on the transfer tape to see if I'm getting it kind of straight, and it did work out. And now I'm just taking my scraper tool and I'm scraping and putting pressure on all of those pieces to make sure that when I peel it back that they're going to stay in place. So then I'm going to come at the bottom and I'm going to pull at an angle, but leaving it flat. Do you see where my thumb is pressing down on the candle? I'm keeping it low and flat. And that assures me that I'm not going to be yanking any of the pieces off and possibly tearing them, or, you know, they won't come off and they stick on the transfer sheet. And then I'm saving this piece of transfer tape because I can reuse that over and over. So don't throw those out after the first use. You can get multiple uses out of that. All right, so now it just says shine bright. It's super cute. It wasn't anything major that I wanted it to say. It's a small candle, but it'll be set by my bedside, and I just thought it was really, really pretty. And once the candle's all used up, I'll probably do something fancy with it with a like a battery operated candle inside. So I think that will look really, really pretty. All right, guys. So like I said, I could put stuff on the top of the wood, which I think I might do. And that's about it. So permanent vinyl is really fun to work with. You can make a ton of different projects, indoor, outdoor. You can put it on glass and ceramic and wood and paper. And there's so many things you can put it on. And it stays. Now you do want to let it cure. If you put this on something, say like that you're going to put in water, you're going to want to let it cure for a couple days before you submerge it at all in water, and then just don't soak it. You know, just wash it well with a sponge and some detergent, and then dry it immediately, and you'll be good to go. But I hope this video was helpful. If you guys need more information on permanent vinyl, please comment down below. Let me know. Reach out. We have a Facebook page. I'll have that linked below. And yeah, I'm hoping to get more videos out. Summer has been crazy around my house. My husband's been sick. Well, we've all kind of had something going on. I think it's just 'tis the season. But I need to know what you guys want to see so that I can start making videos that are going to be helpful to you. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and feel free to share my videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.